Latency, stale game modes, and plenty of missed opportunities. Sound familiar? Oh yes, you guessed it, we are talking about the FIFA football gaming franchise. This game releases annually, and it's a little soul-destroying to see so little improvement year on year, despite fans clamoring for changes. In fact, some of the modes on offer back in the day were miles better than what are actually offered now, which is madness. Career mode has been stripped back to its very basics, and Ultimate Team has taken on a mind of its own. Put some of these following solutions into play, EA, and I can forget about the money you owe me for all the broken controllers over the years, because that was definitely not my fault. I'm Gareth from WhatCulture Football, and here are 10 easy ways EA can restore the glory days to FIFA 21. Number 10. Improve Career Mode. We are starting off with the most neglected mode in the game. Every year, it is slightly reskinned with a new feature or two thrown in for good measure. However, if EA were to really resurrect Career Mode, it would go a long way to appeasing and even regaining fans of this once great single-player experience. EA have the tools to make this mode bigger and better than ever, having recently acquired the rights to the European competitions like the Champions League and the Europa League. The best way EA could start would be to go back 10 years and find inspiration from the career modes of yesteryear, a time when ticket sales and sponsorship were an integral part to building up the finances of your club, and you had actual control over such decisions. In addition, they could even give us more customization options such as custom kits, stadiums, and even footwear. Just imagine curling one in the top bin in the 91st minute wearing your limited edition G-Morg 11 originals. No, just me? Number 9. Use better servers. Constant latency and disconnections become infuriating very quickly, as you probably already know. Numerous times have I been leading a game only to be stung by the dreaded input lag, resulting in a goal conceded which would not have been if I had full control over it. You may be thinking, look at this guy blaming the servers for his poor play, to which I only have one reply. Shut up. No, but seriously, when you press circle to clear the ball half an hour ago, but your player just hasn't registered it, yeah, that's gotta go. A company the size of EA should not be having these same issues year after year, especially with so many competitive modes in their game, the best of which being esports level, where money is actually on the line. Get this problem fixed and we're well and truly on the way to a better game, folks. Number 8. Change up the graphics. FIFA has looked more or less the same for the last 6 years or so. Yes, of course, it's had slight improvement, but that's not really enough. Having seen the leaps forward other developers in different genres have made, it's hard for FIFA fans to accept the lack of progress, and it feels like a slap in the face, to be honest. We're not asking for it to look like we are watching Premier League matches on the TV. Just a bit more realism here and there. Not so many duplicates in the crowd, more care taken for some of the lesser-known players, and for the love of God, if the surroundings of the stadium can't look any better than they do, just take it all out and be done with it. The cars in the car park outside the ground look like they've been imported direct from Ridge Racer 1. Number 7. Squash the bugs. Crashes are the main source of frustration when it comes to bugs in any game, and FIFA is certainly no stranger to completely halting your experience from time to time. But it isn't only outright crashes that spoil the fun. As in most video games, there are bugs lurking under the surface ready to either make you laugh with pity or rage with anger. Hopefully the former, because controllers are pretty expensive. The main bug FIFA encounters every year is players on the pitch performing some honestly quite impressive contortion acts, when they should be defending the corner that's coming in. Boot out the inhuman flexibility and we'll be onto a winner. Number 6. Fix some gameplay issues. The second cousin of gameplay bugs, when they aren't quite a bug but they should still be patched out just as quickly. In FIFA, it's things like your 6'6" centre-back scoring the best overhead kick the world has ever seen, or scoring straight from a corner using some sort of sneaky combination of button pressing. Basically anything that can be abused over and over again for an advantage, which would be completely out of place in the real world. Fine, abuse Salah's left foot and Mbappe's speed, but if we ever see 5'7" Messi outjump 6'4" Virgil van Dijk to score a header again, there will be hell to pay. As an honourable mention, there are numerous bugs in career mode also. This year's main one being that teams would field incredibly weakened squads. I'm not talking about resting a player or two. I mean you're literally playing against the reserves. This results in top teams being much further down the league than they should be, breaking immersion for all. Number 5, REIN in FIFA Ultimate Team. It's fine, EA. You saw unlimited chests of gold at the end of this rainbow and it clouded your morality, made you do things you would never normally consider. FIFA Ultimate Team is your precious. You would do anything to protect it, and we can all come to terms with that and move on. If you just admit that it has gone too far, and we can get back to some sort of sane place. We aren't asking for wholesale changes, not even for the obvious pay-to-win aspects to be completely removed. Just rein it in a bit. Do we need new cards constantly where the only differentiating factor is the color? It smacks of money grabbing and hurts us loyal customers that you would do this to us. Let's just strip it back to the basics. New cards when they're warranted and more reasonable prices is all we ask. I realize this is probably the most unlikely on the list due to the sheer money-making power of the mode, but we must hold out hope EA will do the right thing. You clearly created a monster that got out of control, and that's okay. But it's time to put it right. Number 4, research stats more thoroughly. How many times have you been watching a game and noticed a player with electrifying pace who would fit perfectly into your new 5 at the back system, only to search them on FIFA and see they have 84 pace? Or seen a striker plying their trade in Holland with ice-cold finishing, which is rated a meager 72 on FIFA, all because they play for lesser-known teams. All I'm saying is it would be nice to be able to find a lot more hidden gems from the real world than is currently possible. This probably goes the other way too, with players who are remarkably overrated, mainly because of the name they carry. For example, if Courtois is an 88 after some of the howlers we've seen him make, then there is truly hope for us all. This isn't a tough fix for a company as big as EA. All they have to do is hire more scouts and researchers so they can, in turn, cover more games and players before eventually getting much more accurate readings. Number 3, let us create our own team. If you were lucky enough to play the This Is Football franchise 15 to 20 years ago, you will know exactly what we're looking for here. Create your team from scratch. Kits, players, ground, and take them from the depths of non-league football to the Champions League final. For this to be viable in the current games, EA would have to rework how the finances work in career mode, because the further you go up the leagues, the more money will be needed to stay competitive. Right now, it wouldn't be feasible since the financial rewards in the mode don't come close to how the real football world works. Also, kit creation has been a staple of rival football game Pro Evolution Soccer for years, and it's a simple concept which adds more longevity to the game. When you're 5 seasons in and still playing in the same kit you started with, things start to get a bit stale. It's the same issue with the stadiums, as you can't extend or even change where you play. This means that when you do start in the lower league with a small stadium, by the time you reach the high levels you still end up playing a Champions League semi-final in front of 2,000 fans, which is admittedly hilarious but not realistic, damn it. Number 2, improve pro clubs. The second most neglected mode in FIFA. Pro clubs. If you're not familiar, you create a player and play online along with your friends, each of you playing your preferred position. This usually ends up in a squabble as to who gets to play striker, but once you get past that, the mode can be very fun to play. The problem is, it's been the exact same for many years, and has become rather dull. You win in order to go up the divisions, as you would expect, but it needs to be spiced up a bit. One simple way for this to be done would be to add skill games for team training, resulting in morale and attribute boost for your players. Also, how about a pro club's transfer market where you can bring in new players for the AI positions? So as you climb the leagues, you can add better quality around you, as the current talent of computer control players is erratic and random at best. You never know what you're gonna get. Number 1, scripting. The single most controversial subject in digital sport today is their scripting in FIFA. A quick summary of scripting is the game being biased towards one team or another, in an attempt to keep the game close, sometimes destroying the skill gap completely. EA has always denied its existence, yet the conspiracy theories rumble on. I for one am pretty much certain it's in there. You know the feeling, you're penned in your own half, and your players seem to have lost all their talent like it's just been sucked from their body a la Space Jam. Maybe we're too far down the rabbit hole now for EA to come out and say it's in there, practically admitting to years of lying to their customers. Maybe it isn't in there at all, although it definitely is, and we as players just want something to blame for our poor performances. But please EA, sneak scripting out the back door for it never to return, and we'll all forget this ever happened. Also, one last thing, keep VAR away from our baby. 2020's been hard enough, guys. And that's our list. Know of any other ways EA can restore the glory days? Let us know all about them in the comment section below, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to head on over to WhatCulture.com and click on some more brilliant articles just like the one this video is based on. I've been Gareth from WhatCulture Football. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.